Hi everybody, it's Crystal. So today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this shawl right here. So I'm going to go ahead and move it up a little bit. Now it is quite a large one, and you do not have to crochet it as big as I did. But I'll tell you a little bit about it and show you. It's actually quite easy to do as well. So this is kind of what it looks like here. It does have some post stitches in it, and then some shells, but really it's actually very easy to do. Now the one that is made here is very, very large. Like I said, at the top, from one point all the way across the top to the other point is 84 inches, and from the center top down to the center point is 42 inches. Now, of course, you do not have to make yours that big at all. You can make yours any size that you choose. Now, why don't we go ahead and talk about the yarn that I used. Okay, so the yarn that I used is actually mill-in yarn, which means that it's yarn that it doesn't come with a label or anything, but it is actually it's an alpaca acrylic blend that I purchased from Hirschner's. Maybe many of you bought them at the time that I told you, but this is the color that I got, and then it doesn't have a name or anything, like I said, because there's no tag, but it's the alpaca acrylic blend. Now it is between a 2 and a 3 weight yarn, probably a thin 3, and there is about 900 yards per cake. And it took one whole cake and then some of another. So if you're going to make it the size that I did, you're probably going to need about 1,200 yards of between a 2 and a 3 weight yarn. But remember, that is a very big shawl. If you got these from Hirschner's at the time that they were on sale, I know many people did, one of these would be perfectly fine too, to make a nice size shawl. But you don't have to use this yarn, you know. You could use a 1 weight, 2 weight, 3 weight. You could even use a 4 weight if you wanted to. You would just need to adjust the hook size. But the hook size that I used before a 2 and a 3 weight, between a 2 and a 3 weight, is an I, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And if you're going to be using a different yarn, I would use, you know, if you're going to use a 2 or 3 weight like this, I would use the I. If you're going to be using a 1 weight, I would probably use a 5 millimeter. You want something that's a little bigger, you know, so it gives it a nice drape. Alright, so I'm going to show you with a 4 weight yarn, so it's easier to see. This is just some scrap yarn here that I have. So this is a 4 row repeat, but like I said, it's a very easy shawl to do. So let's go ahead and get started with a slip knot on our hook. I'm using a J for a 4 weight. Alright, so you want to start off with a chain of 4, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. Now if you want to use the magic circle here, that would be fine, but I'm going to go ahead and do the slip stitch method just like that. Now I'm going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch. All right, now we're going to work through the center of the ring, and we're going to work 5 double crochets through the center of that ring. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. And that will end row 1. Go ahead and pull your tail to close up that center circle a little bit. Now we'll go ahead and start row 2. We're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and turn our work. We're going to work at 2 double crochets right here into this very first stitch. 2 doubles. So there's 1, and there's 2. And now we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch like that, And then the next stitch, we're going to work 5 double crochets into that stitch. So that's actually becoming the point of our shawl. So 5 double crochets into the next. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we need to do the same thing on this side that we did on this side. So we're going to put 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to end row 2 by putting 2 double crochets into the last stitch. Just like that. And you should have a total of 11 double crochets now. Yes, at the end of row 2. All right, we're going to start row 3. See, we're moving right along here. We are going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and then we're going to turn our work. And we're going to put 2 double crochets right here into this very first stitch. And now we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 1 and put 1 double crochet into the next, just like that. And we're going to do this all the way until we get to the last stitch of our row. So again, we're going to chain 3, skip 1, and double crochet into the next. Chain 3, oops, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 3, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 3, and then skip 1. You'll have 1 to skip, and then you'll have 1 left here on the end. Put 2 double crochets into that last stitch. So skip 1 and 2 doubles into that last stitch, and that will end round 3. And that is what it starts to look like. It's okay if it's flipping up and everything. We'll take care of it. We'll get it done. Now we're going to start row 4. We're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, and turn our work. We're going to put 2 double crochets into this very first stitch right here. There's 1, and there's 2. And we're going to put 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So right here. Now we're going to work along, and we're going to put 5 double crochets into each one of these chain 3 spaces. All right, so we're going to jump to the next one, and we're going to put 5 double crochets right through the space. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5. Now we don't do anything with this double crochet here. We just jump to the next chain 3 space, and we work 5 double crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. So I'm going to continue this, working 5 double crochets in each of these chain 3 spaces until I make it right here to our last 2 stitches, and that's where I'll meet back up with you. Alright, so I'm coming here to the end of row 4, and I just did my 5 double crochets into the last chain space. Now I'm going to put 1, there should be 2 stitches left here. I'm going to put 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then I'm going to end by putting 2 double crochets into the last stitch. And that will end row 4. kind of what it's starting to look like, but we haven't made it to the repeat rows yet. Almost. So we're going to go ahead and start row 5 by chaining 1 and turning our work. Now we're going to work 3 double crochets right here into the very first stitch. 3 doubles this time, okay? There's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Now we're going to work around. We're just going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch until we make it to the last stitch of our row. So row 5 is 1 double in every stitch. Pretty easy. So I'm going to continue working 1 double in every stitch until I get to the last stitch, and that is where I will meet back up with you. Alright, so I'm coming to the end of row 5, and I'm going to go ahead, I made it to the last stitch. I'm going to put 3 double crochets into the last stitch, because we put 3 double crochets in the first. We want to put 3 doubles into the last. Just like that, and that'll end row 5. Now we're going to start row 6 by chaining 1 and turning our work. Now row 6 is just a repeat of row 5. So we're going to do the same thing that we just did again. We're going to start off by putting 3 double crochets into the very first stitch. And then we'll work 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way across until we get to the last stitch of our row. So remember, row 6 is what we're on, but we're just repeating row 5. Okay, I'll be back up with you at the end. Alright, so I'm coming to the end of row 6, and I'm just going to put 3 double crochets into my last stitch here to end the row, like that. So this is what it's kind of starting to look like. Now we're going to start row 7. So rows 7, 8, 9, and 10 are the repeat rows. So now we're starting the repeat rows. Remember, it is a 4-row repeat. Alright, so row 7, we're going to chain 1, which doesn't count as a stitch, and turn our work. And we're going to put 3 double crochets into the very first stitch. 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, and 3, like that. Now we're going to start the repeat of the row by chaining 2. We're going to skip 1 and double crochet into the next. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. We're going to chain 2, skip 1, and double into the next. Again, chain 2, skip 1, and double into the next. And I'm going to keep repeating this. Chain 2, skip 1, and double into the next until I make it to the around to the last stitch of my row. Alright, I'm coming to the end of the row. I just did a double crochet here and I have 2 stitches left, so I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to skip 1, this one, and I'm going to end by putting 3 double crochets into the last stitch. And there is 3, and that will end row 7, just like that. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start, oh, sorry about that, it came undone. We're going to go ahead and start row 8. We are going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn our work. Now that chain 4 is going to act as a triple crochet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the same spot right here, and we're going to put 2 more triple crochets into the very first stitch. So yarn over twice for the triple. Just like that. Since that chain 4 is counting as a triple, we added 2 more, so we have 3 triple crochets into the very first stitch. Now what we're going to do is put 1 triple crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 here and 1 here. Triple crochet. There's 1 triple, and then a triple into the next, just like that. Now we're going to start the repeat of row 8. We're going to put a triple crochet into the next chain space, just 1 triple crochet into the next chain space, just like this, right through the space. And then we're going to put a front post triple crochet around the next double crochet. So we're going to yarn over twice, like we're going to do a triple, but we're going to go around the post of the double crochet from the previous row and do a front post triple, just like that. And this is what we're going to repeat into every chain space until we get to the middle chain space of the shawl. So you have to kind of count every time you repeat this row and find the middle chain space like this. I do it this way when I find the middle. Just go up, and I know this one is my middle, so I need to repeat this pattern until I get to my middle one. So I'm repeating across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chain spaces, and my 10th one here will be my middle one. So again, I'm going to put a triple crochet into the next chain space, and then a front post triple around the post of the double crochet from the previous row, like that. Triple crochet into the next chain space, and front post triple around the double crochet from the previous row. And you continue this until you get to the middle chain space of all these chain spaces. Triple into the chain space, just 1 triple, and then 1 front post triple around the double crochet from the previous row. And I'll be back up with you when I get to the middle chain space. Okay, so I've made it to my middle chain space. I did a front post double crochet front post triple crochet, I'm sorry, into this double crochet, and here's the middle chain space. Now every time you repeat this row 8, the middle will have a different number on each side. Just make sure that you find the middle every time, like just match the chain spaces or count them, and then know which one's your middle, okay? Now I got to the middle here. I did this front post triple here right beside it. So what I'm going to do into this chain space is work 5 triple crochets into that space. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. It's okay if it's flipping up a bit, that's fine. Now what we're going to do is make this side match this side. So we're going to start off by doing a front post triple crochet around the next double, and then a triple crochet into the next chain space. So we're just kind of repeating on this side what we did on the other side. Front post triple into the next, and then a triple into the next chain space, front post triple, and then triple into the next chain space, and we're just going to repeat this the same as we did on the other side until we get to the last 3 stitches of our row. All right, I'm coming to the end, and I just want to say, if at any point when we were working this row, I said chain 3 space, I meant put the triple crochet into the chain 2 space. There are no more chain 3 spaces. This row is a chain 2 row. So I'm sorry if I said that. I meant chain 2 space. Okay. Now, so I've made it here to the end, and I put a triple crochet into my last chain 2 space, and I have 3 stitches left. So I'm going to put a triple crochet, 1 in the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 triple there, 1 triple there, and I'm going to end by putting 3 triple crochets into the last stitch. There's 1, 2, and there is 3, and that will end row 8. And like I said, it's probably going to be a little bit sticking up. That's okay. We're going to take care of that. And we're going to start row 9. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to work 3 double crochets now into the very first stitch. Doubles. Just 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch until we get to this set of 5 double crochet down here. Okay, remember where we put 5 double crochet into the chain 2 space? We're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch until we get to these. So we'll just work along, putting 1 double crochet in each of these stitches. Until we get to that group of 5. So I'm going to continue, and I'll meet back up with you when we get down here to the center point here of our shawl. All right, so I've made it here, and here is the group of 5 from the previous row. See that? Now what we're going to do is we're going to work 3 double crochets in each one of these 5 stitches. 3 doubles in each of them. These are triple crochets from the previous row. All right, and we're going to put 3 doubles in each of them. So there's 3 doubles in that one, and then we move to the next one. There's 3 doubles in that one. That's 2 of them. The next one. Three doubles in that one. That's 3 of them. The next one. Three doubles in that one. That is 4 of them, and I have 1 left here. Three doubles into that one. So that was 3 doubles in each of those 5 triples from the previous row. Now we're going to make this side match this side by continuing and putting 1 double crochet into every stitch. Until we get to the last stitch of our row. Just like that. All right, I'm coming to the end here of row 9, and we're going to put in by putting 3 double crochets into the last stitch, which is this chain 4 from the previous row. So just go into the top of it and we work 3 doubles, and that will end row 9. And then we'll go ahead and start row 10, which is the final repeat row. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work like that. And we're going to start off by putting 3 double crochets into the very first stitch. Like that. And now we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch until we get down here. So here is our where we put 3 double crochets in each of the 5, so there'd be 15 double crochets there until we get to the middle stitch down here into this there's the group of 5 that we did. We put 3 in each of the 5 stitches, so there's 3 there, 3 there, and 3 here. That would be our middle stitch right there. So if you want to mark it off with a stitch mark, you can. Otherwise, it is the 8th stitch of this group of 15 stitches we did here, because we put 3 in these 5 stitches, so that made 15. It would be the 8th one down here in this group of double crochets. That's going to be the middle one. So we're going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch until we get to that middle stitch. Just 1 double in every stitch. Pretty easy. Just as this isn't a hard pattern, you just got to make sure you find your middle stitch and middle chain 2 space and stuff. Okay, I'm going to meet back up with you when we get to the middle stitch of this group of 15 double crochets that we did in a row down here for the, I guess it's the point of the shawl down here. Alright, so if you look at the previous row, here is the group of 15 stitches that we did. We did 3 in each of the 5 doubles. See that? Or 5 triples. See these 5 triples? We put 3 doubles in each of those 5 triples for a total of 15 double crochets. We want to work, if we count over, the 8th one will be the middle one. So I'm going to put 1 double crochet into the next 7 here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is 7. Now in that middle stitch we want to put, you can look, you can see that it's lined up in the middle. This is the stitch we're going to work in. 3 double crochets into that stitch. 1, all into that stitch. 2, and 3. See that? So if you look closer, you can see that it is in the middle. It's in the middle of these 3 doubles, and it's in the middle of this group of triples down here, of 5 triples. See that? 1, 2, here's the middle one, which is attached to these 3 right here, which is the middle one is right here. 3 doubles. I hope that's not confusing. We just need to find that middle stitch. Put 3 doubles in it, and then we continue along working 1 double in every stitch until we make it back around to the last stitch of row 10. 1 double in every stitch, and I'll meet back up with you at the last stitch. Alright, I've made it to the end of row 10 and I have one stitch that remains. I'm going to go ahead and put 3 double crochets into the last stitch. And that'll end row 10 and that will end the repeat rows. So, this is what it starts to look like. Now it's just a repeat of rows 7, 8, 9, and 10. You just keep repeating those rows until you get it as long as you want it to be. Now you can actually end on any row that you want. Okay, but I ended on a row 7 repeat, which is where we do the chain 2 spaces. Okay, so actually this is where we would start repeating again. I just finished row 10, so for row 11 it would be we would start row 7 again. So I would chain 1 and turn my work, 3 double crochets into the first stitch, chain 2, skip 1, double into the next, chain 2, skip 1, double into the next. So I'm just chain 2, skip 1, double into the next. I'm just repeating row 7 now for row 11. So it's the 7, 8, 9, and 10. 7, 8, 9, and 10 until you get the shawl as big as you want it to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish out this row 7 repeat because that's what was stopped on. And then there's a shell border that's going to go on it. If you want to do that and follow along with me, that's fine. Let me go ahead and finish this out and I'll show you how I did that. Alright, I'm coming to the end of row 11, which is actually just a row 7 repeat. You have 2 stitches left, so I'm going to chain 2, skip 1, and end by putting 3 double crochets into that last stitch. Now remember, you would just keep repeating row 7 through 10 until you get your shawl as big as you want it to be. I'm ending on this row 7 repeat and then I'm going to put a border. Now again, every time you do this row 7, you're going to have to find your middle chain space. Alright, this is actually the back. Yeah, you're going to have to find your middle chain space every time. So you can just count them, is what I do. Okay, so I got a total of 35, so I know my 18th chain space is going to be my middle one. Right here it is. That one right there. Alright. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the shell row. This would be the finishing row once you get your shawl as big as you want it to be, like the border. Remember, you don't have to do this. If you don't want to, you can use any type of border, or fringe would be pretty too. What we're going to do is we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to put 3 double crochet into our first stitch. Remember, this is the edging row. Once you got your shawl as big as you want it to be, only if you want to do this edging row. Like that. Okay, now we're going to put 1 double crochet into these next 2 double crochets. Like that. And then into the next chain space, we're going to put 5 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That, and then we're going to jump to the next chain space and we're going to put a single crochet, and then we're going to put 5 double crochets in the next chain space again. This is what we're going to repeat. 4, 5, and a single crochet into the next. Again, 5 into the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a single into the next. And we're going to do this until we get to the middle chain space. 5 into the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, single to the next. 5 in the next. And a single into the next. And I'll meet back up with you at that middle chain space. Alright, I just did 5 doubles and now I'm at my middle chain space. I'm not going to put a single crochet into it. I'm going to put 7 doubles into that middle. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side that we did over here. So 5 doubles here, the middle had 7, then we're going to start out with 5 doubles into the next. And a single crochet into the next. And then 5 doubles. And a single into the next. Same thing that we did. So that's what it kind of looks like there around the bottom finishing edge. So you just repeat the same thing over here that you did over here. And when you make it to your last 3 stitches, you put a double crochet here, a double crochet here, and 3 doubles into your last stitch. It'll look the same as it did over here. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Remember, it's extremely easy once you get the hang of the 4-row repeat. It's very, very easy. And you do not have to do that border that was done on this shawl. You can do any border that you like I said. But this is what it starts to look like after a while. I think it's absolutely pretty. Looks very nice. Turned out good. Well, I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out. And if you look below in the description box, you will see a link to over 1,000 crochet tutorials. I have anything that you could ever want to make and multiples of them. And also, please don't forget to give me a like and give me a comment below. Let me know what you think about this shawl. Let me know if you're going to make it. And if you do, you can show me a picture on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page or on Instagram. I'd love to see it. That's it. Until next time. This is pretty. Have a good day. The colors are really pretty on it. Bye, guys.